a nice part of life that you need some practice and training for. A nice part of life that you should have some practice and training for. A nice part of life that you should have some conversation and practice and training for. If the spirit who designed humans and cares about them set up a time of a year, which became 2 years, if the spirit who loves humankind set up a year for two people to just get used to being one flesh, then that's very interesting. There's a statement. It says, for the first year, the man should not be engaged in battle or heavy business, because literally he should be engaged in the practice of filling his woman with good cheer. And that is a sexual term presented with a touch of humor. For 1 year, the man should be engaged in the practice of filling his wife with good cheer. So we can get into an extended conversation regarding how to communicate.
Doing okay?
Yeah. We could get into an extended conversation regarding how to communicate with children and young people regarding the very common practice of the one flesh enjoyment. The first time I did a brake job on my car, I was afraid of it. And I had to read and listen to what other people had to say about doing a brake job. And still, I was uncomfortable. I was worried that I wouldn't do it right. It is the same thing with enjoying being one flesh. There are some basic principles that really work consistently. There is a way of handling the arousal of the man, and there is a way of handling the arousal of the woman. And you know what? These are actually common things. These have some basic elements in them. And it's not really super complex. It's not some kind of fancy, secret, esoteric thing. But the Apkallu, the dark forces, have caused humans to be ashamed or afraid of communicating about this event of the one flesh enjoyment. And so it's missing. It's actually missing from family honesty and family love and care of one another. Hi, boys and girls. I am a female human being, and I have not engaged in arousal or stimulation. There's a neat woman on my Grandpa Honesty Guy interesting info about masturbation playlist. I have a playlist called Interesting Info About Masturbation. And in that playlist, many voices are presented around the concept of masturbation. Self-pleasuring, personal stimulation. Many voices and many statements are made. But one of the coolest ones is this lady who basically says, I've never stimulated myself, and I don't feel motivated to. And all of the women that she spoke to, people who are troubled about stimulating themselves too much, and people who are not troubled about stimulating themselves, they all said to her, oh my gosh, if you've never started stimulating yourself, please don't begin. Don't get started. And they were all saying that it is a very powerful and semi-irresistible thing. That when it gets started is like you're on the roller coaster ride and you can't get off. That's a kind of funny play in words. So anyhow, a simple, basic element of life that is good and excellent and fascinating and lovely and satisfying and comforting. And it is good and reasonable for Family Honesty Church to talk about it. Yahoo, yippee. Good idea.